17 Crazy Things You'll Only See in Japan. But first, we'd like to thank you guys for leaving us some great suggestions lately. There certainly is no shortage of strange places in Japan. Let us know which thing you think is the strangest, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 17. Tomato Feeding Robot Mask. Japan is a very unique country to say the least. Located east of China, they've enjoyed isolation for much of their existence until the 19th century, so it's certainly going to be home to some unique things, like this tomato feeding robot mask. This crazy invention hasn't really caught on all that well, but it's actually pretty high-tech. It's designed to fit comfortably on the runner's face and feed them tomatoes during various intervals while exercising. Number 16. Godzilla. Godzilla has made his way back to Japan, and he's putting on one heck of a fight. The mythical beast has finally made himself home in the capital city of Tokyo. The head of Godzilla is 40 feet tall and is towering over the Toho building. Luckily, people in Japan know it's a false alarm and just a statue. It's pretty hard to miss him, and he's still quite the king of all monsters. He's been in a few films, and there's just something about Godzilla you'd expect to see in Japan. Number 15. Giant Gundam Robot. Japan is one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, and they made advancements in robots far ahead of their time. In Tokyo, you'll encounter one of their stranger tourist attractions, which features a gigantic 60-foot robot overlooking the harbor. It's almost like you'd expect Godzilla to get in a fight with this thing. Right now, it's mainly made of plastic and isn't programmed to destroy humans. It does shoot out smoke and laser beams and has limited motion. For a small fee, visitors can have their photo taken with this giant robot, and proceeds go towards helping out tsunami victims. Number 14. The Clone Factory. It's well known that Japan is becoming a little bit creepy when it comes to making human-like silicone dolls. It seems like any day now, you'll be able to purchase a clone of whoever you want. This isn't the case yet, but with a high-tech 3D printer and scanner, you can create a near-exact replica of your head and put it on a doll. The dolls range in size, but for about $1,750, you can get one that's 20 inches tall that'll look just like you. Customers normally get this for special occasions such as weddings or birthday parties. The dolls are then fitted with a costume of your choice. Do you like yourself enough to clone yourself? Number 13. Cat Island. Would you be willing to live on an island where cats outnumber people 6 to 1? If you said yes, you're probably a crazy cat lady and you should go find some help, because this place is out of control. A remote island in southern Japan has had a serious problem with mice, so they figured the best way to deal with this was to bring a large amount of cats here. Now, stray felines have claimed this as their territory, and anyone who moves here will certainly have to abide by their laws. Any fishing boats that arrive here will normally be greeted by several ambassadors, and you better believe the fisherman has to pay their tribute. There's really nowhere you can go without seeing the cat staring you down. They really know where you are at all times. This isn't the only place teeming with cats in Japan, and many people enjoy coming to cat cafes. Number 12. Kabukicho Robot Restaurant. It's places like these that make you wonder if the entire Japanese population is half robot, half human or something. This one-of-a-kind restaurant is almost like a gentleman's club, but with dancing android robots. It almost seems like the Japanese men would prefer it that way. The idea of having a robot do whatever you tell it to do seems very appealing to some. The robots portray unflawed and unrealistic robot women who dance, put on shows, and make the crowd go wild. There might be a few boring humans that slip their way onto the stage and dance here, but no one cares about that. The Fembot Cabaret is becoming more and more popular each day, and this could certainly be what the future has in store for us. Number 11. The Black Ninja Burger. Japan is well known for their delicious cuisine, and people from all around the world are intrigued by their sushi. Japan can also make some crazy-looking burgers as well. If you go to the Japanese Burger King, you might come across the Black Ninja Burger. It almost looks like the sandwich has been rotting away for a year or so, but that's not the case. Even the cheese is black. This isn't the only option of black burger eaten in Japan, and you can get something similar here with a huge slab of bacon. It's apparently made with bamboo charcoal, black pepper, and garlic sauce with squid ink. Sounds yummy, right? Number 10. Nara Dreamland. Japan has some great theme parks, no doubt, but Nara Dreamland ranks very high on the list of creepiest abandoned theme parks out there, and you'll only see this in Japan. This place was built to look very much like Disneyland in America, but it was left abandoned after only a decade due to lack of attendance. It only closed about 10 years ago, and Mother Nature is starting to retake her territory. The centerpiece was once this beautiful castle, and now it just remains unvisited until an occasional urban explorer comes to photograph it. The demolition process began to take place in October 2016, and it will be all over in December 2017, so try to see it while it's still there. The PL Peace Tower. Dedicated as a monument to peace, prosperity, and those who've lost their lives in battle, the PL Peace Tower rises 600 feet in the air. While the intentions are good, there just seems to be something about this that's just a little bit off. This is located at the Church of Perfect Liberty in Tondabayashi. This is almost like the Japanese version of the Tomb of the Unknown and dedicated to all races, groups, creeds, and religions. Number 8. Neon Lambo Street Races. Japan is no stranger to some intense street races, as we're about to see. Only the richest will survive in this race, and they better hope no one crashes, because repairing one of these could set you back a few grand. These are a lot flashier than your average Lambo and are equipped with bright LED lights, and you can see them glow while racing in Tokyo. Other Lambos are gold, purple, or even fitted with holograms like you see here. Number 7. Dancing Poodles. A commercial in Japan became a huge hit when it featured human-like poodles working out alongside a Japanese aerobics instructor in 2004. This was supposed to spoof those 90s workout instructors, and they did a pretty good job. So how do they train the poodles to move like this? Well, it's completely CGI, and Japan hasn't trained poodles to dance like this. Or have they? Number 6. The Alpaca Witnesses. Okay, Japan, you have some serious explaining to do here. A new craze in Japan apparently seems to be hiring furry alpacas to serve as witnesses to weddings. Getting married is quite a serious expression of love, so what are these random alpacas doing at their weddings? Alpacas always seem to be in great moods, and they'll never object to their friends' weddings. They won't make any lewd comments about the bride in her dress, and they certainly won't get too intoxicated while the couple is exchanging vows. The animal is well washed and groomed before showing up, and it almost seems to be a better candidate for a best man than your best friend. Number 5. Monkey Hot Tub. Japan has somewhat of a strange climate, and you'll notice freezing cold temperatures in the north, while the south can be quite humid. Due to high levels of volcanic activity in this country, it's capable of producing some hot springs which allow these snow monkeys to heat up during the frigid temperatures. The Japanese macaques are well aware of the hot springs here, and they seemingly pamper themselves at the Jigokudari Monkey Park in the Nagano Prefecture. Nearly 100,000 tourists come to this park each year to witness this human-like behavior. This macaque here even snatched a tourist's iPhone while they were trying to take photos. Number 4. Robot Hotel. Some wonder what a future would be like if robots began taking jobs away from humans. You don't have to really look that far, and all you have to do is come to Japan. It's here where the hotel staff is made up of 90% robots, and many of them are quite realistic looking. This female humanoid robot was constructed to look as lifelike as possible, and even has blinking eyelashes. Guests might be a little bit more frightened when they come across this flesh-eating dinosaur. Number 3. Japanese Game Shows. Game shows in Japan are on a whole different level when it comes to weirdness, and are known to be a little bit suggestive at times. Here we see one episode that displays the strangeness, and it involves two girls, a transparent pipe, and a cockroach. Both girls try to send the cockroach into the other girl's mouth by blowing as hard as they possibly can. In Japan, there doesn't really seem to be a loser to this one, and they would consider the cockroach to be a tasty treat. Number 2. Use panty vending machines. So it's possible some Japanese prefer the company of real people and not robots, occasionally. But sometimes it just gets a little bit harder to come by. If you search hard enough around adult bookstores in Japan, you might come across some strange used panty vending machines. These will disperse panties that they hope were used, because what guy wants to buy a bunch of unworn panties? There's a little debate on how much they're actually used, and many believe they were just sprayed with some cheap perfume. We just hope they weren't used by some sumo wrestler. And number 1. Aoki Kihara Forest. Japan can go from strange to downright creepy real fast. This is possibly the creepiest of all forests ever. Aoki Kihara is located on the northwestern base of Mount Fuji, and it was considered to be a sacred place. In recent years, it's become the most popular destination for suicide in the world, and is said to be haunted by spirits. Throughout this forest, many signs are placed urging for people to find help, but many just won't listen. The location has gotten a grim reputation, and many believe once you venture off into this forest, you'll never come back alive.